Recently, my wife inherited her father's Ruger M77 Hawkeye all weather. This one is chambered in 280 Remington, which is a cartridge I'm not wholly familiar with. This particular model was manufactured in 2011, according to the serial number lookup on the Ruger website. And it's a fine example of what I'll call a Winchester 70 like Mauser K98 type extraction system. And I thought we'd take a look at it today and show it to you guys. So first of all, as you can see, this does have the trapdoor type magazine. So when you're done with your hunt, you simply push that button on the front of the trigger guard and you're able to dump your extra ammo. So a lot of rifles are made that way. A lot of rifles today are using the magazines. Here you're looking at the front action screw, and that actually goes in at an angle, which is a little bit different. And here just taking a look at the bolt, and I've got it on 3 safety positions. That was the first safety. The second safety allows you to cycle the bolt, but the trigger still will not depress. That comes in handy. And then you push the safety all the way forward, and there you go. They also made these in tang safeties at some point. And you can also see these are the rings that come with it. It's an integral mounting system. So if you like those, you're in good shape. Also going to show you here how we take the bolt out. You push up on this catch here. It's just a spring-loaded affair, and the bolt comes out. And this looks a whole lot like that Winchester 70 bolt or like a K98 Mauser bolt, as I mentioned, where it's got an extractor claw as opposed to relying on the plunger type system. It looks like a fairly well-designed bolt, and I have no problems with that. It works fairly smoothly, and have not ever observed my late father-in-law ever having issues with cycling or anything of that nature. So I think it's a fairly well-designed affair. Locks in nice and tight like you'd hope. The 280 Remington cartridge is another 30-06 derivation. Here you see on the left is 30-06. In the middle is the 280, and on the right is the 270 Winchester. Now, I'm a big 270 Winchester fan for a lot of reasons. I think the 280 kind of was invented to have a little bit more of a grain weight. You'll see a lot of these commonly in 160 grains, where you're more likely 140, 150 sometimes with the 270. But it really doesn't do anything the 270 does for stuff that I hunt. Now, I'm not going to be able to shoot for a while with this because I just had my knee replaced a couple weeks ago, but I promise that I will. Now, there's 2 things about this rifle that make it a difference between being a rifle that my wife inherited versus one that I would buy. First of all, I'm not a huge fan of Ruger firearms, and I know that's probably going to stir the pot because there's a lot of people that are. But when it comes to hunting rifles, my experience is Remington 700, pre-64 Winchester 70, looking at some older Hawkeyes. I owned one in 7mm Rem Mag, which was a complete shoulder buster, as well as other models, semi-autos, you name it. You've seen the Browning BAR on this channel. Recently picked up the Mauser M18, which I think outclasses this every day. But it's a fine rifle. It's solid. I've watched my father-in-law hunt with this for a number of years, taking mule deer, taking antelope, and like most hunting rifles you're going to get, it's going to pretty much be as accurate as the shooter. But the reason that I don't like Ruger firearms isn't anything against the company itself. I just think they do a lot of different things, but I just don't think they do anything really super well. And that's just my opinion. Maybe an exception to that's the 1022, I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably stirring the pot with that statement. The main reason that I wouldn't have bought this particular firearm is that it's in 280 Remington. I looked online yesterday just to see where I could get ammo, and there was only one source available that had 280 in stock. It's just not a very common round. From what I understand, the commercial loads tend to be loaded at lower pressures than is optimal. And then it's basically something that was one of those middle-of-the-road cartridges designed that hand loaders tend to get the most out of. But whatever the case may be, if someone handed me this rifle and said, hey, you need to go do your deer hunt with it this year, this is your choice, I'd make the most out of it. And I'm sure that I'd be able to make most of the same shots that I make out to 300 yards or so that I do with my other rifles. It tends to be a bit heavy. It's about a pound heavier, coming in over 7 pounds than, say, that Mauser M18. I don't like the way it points and shoots in terms of just shouldering it, as well as some other rifles that I've had. But I think, for what its purpose is, all weather, I think Ruger did a great job with this, with the brushed stainless. The synthetic stock is okay. A little bit of a hollow feeling back in the butt, but nothing we can't live with. But I did want to show you this rifle. A lot of people hunt with Ruger M77s, Ruger Hawkeyes, and various iterations over the years. Ruger no longer makes a Hawkeye chambered in 280 Remington. In fact, a lot of manufacturers don't. That's why you can't find the ammo everywhere. Like you can traveling anywhere across this country during normal times, you can pick up 30-06, you can pick up 270 Winchester, no problem. But I thought I'd show this to you today. This is the Ruger all-weather Hawkeye M77. This particular one is from 2011. Looks like it's handled the weather pretty good. And we'll see how my wife likes it whenever I can get her out deer hunting. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Dr. Drake 63 saying keep shooting. See you soon.